On today's episode, we're going to show you how to do things, tell you how to do things, explain to you how to do things, and I'm going to show you I'm just like you. So here is the best piece of cardio equipment that I bought, and everybody knows, anybody who knows me knows I don't like cardio. I am a lift heavy shit kind of girl. I've been lifting heavy shit since before the phrase came out for menopausal women to lift heavy shit. I called it Heavy Shit Day. Me and Janine did. So here we have an assault bike. I found her on Marketplace for 40 bucks. So if you want to go looking for one, that's the best piece of cardio I could tell you there is, because it uses arms, it uses legs, and it poops you out rather quickly. I have a manual elliptical bike that I had bought, and it's in our room, and I bought it on Marketplace. It's in our room. It comes out so you can work other parts of your legs. And I figured while we're watching the news in the morning and having our coffee, I would get some steps in. Did not happen. I had the opportunity to purchase one of these. Why does it escape me? A treadmill. It's covered with a sheet right now because I have 3 cats. I went from a dog mom to a cat mom. Either way, I love these little furry guys. Girls, that also did not happen. I got that so when I come home, if I haven't made my step goal, which everybody should make a step goal, and you should pretty much kind of try to keep to that step goal, I didn't do it. Why? Because I work an 8-hour-a-week job. I run a fitness studio, Diamond Strength Fitness, as you know, because you're here and it's under Diamond Strength Fitness. And I teach a group class. There's also personal training with various packages, online training with various packages, and a group class. And you can walk in and work out on your own, and I help you with the workout. So you would get a full assessment so we know where to start you at, and I can write you a workout. So I'm not as cheap as some of the other gyms for walking in and working out on your own. And there are not a lot of people in my gym like there are there. But if you like pretty much almost an empty gym to yourself, have at it. There's people that come in and out of there, but not as many because everybody hasn't caught on to me yet. So catch on to me. We'll do an assessment. We'll set you up a workout every couple of weeks. We'll change your workout. I can either meet you at some point when you have questions. We can video call. We could do whatever, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is by the time I get home, I don't want to do anything except for make my dinner, which it's usually meal prepped, but I'm kind of getting tired of chicken. So I think we're going to start looking for some meatless meals. And I want to start cutting out my protein powder because I recently found that a lot of protein powders have heavy metals in them. So it's probably a very good idea to get rid of those. And I just want to show you something. So in light of my husband and I quitting smoking, and at the same time, I hit menopause. So I actually don't know how to show this to you, except from behind, but it won't happen. So here, if you can see, I can cover it with a shirt, but I have grown myself a belly. And from that belly, the doctor has said I have possible fatty liver. We'll find that out soon. I'll go for a CT scan. I do need to lose weight, but we need to make sure that the fat has not infiltrated my liver. Because then that's all fixable. That's all fixable with diet and exercise. So you're going to go through that journey with me. So just because I'm not really big doesn't mean people of a smaller size don't end up with issues like that, like fatty liver. It's hereditary. I do know my uncle had fatty liver, so that's probably where I got it from. So now it's time to hone in my diet. And I don't like to call it a diet, so let's not do that. It's time to go back to the way of eating limited processed foods. I do like bread, but I buy like Dave's Killer seeded bread, and I don't eat bread very often, but that's my bread of choice. You can get the thin slices, so you can have a little bit more bread if you like bread, and that's a good one. So I do like to get the thin one, and there's seeded bread and all different. He has various different varieties, and if you shop at Aldi, there's also a version of Dave's Killer Bread at Aldi at a little bit of a cheaper price. Of course, prices are going up everywhere. So in light of that, we're also going to do cardio several days a week and the heavy shit. Lift heavy shit. Because I've been so busy and so tired and so stressed out and whatnot, I let my workouts lag. So the workouts I've been teaching were kind of maintenance, but now it's time to jump on board and actually get my workout in. Because I've been working out for a lot of years, I have to do a little bit more than everybody else, or heavier than everybody else, because that's my thing. I like to do that thing. And I do teach you how to lift heavy, but it's your heavy, not my heavy. So we're also going to do this. So you can look on your laptop, your phone, wherever you sit here in the evening, and you scroll away looking for recipes, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and exercises. And here's the thing. So when you get into exercises, they'll call them a flat belly workout. Do this several times a week, and you'll get a flat belly. And the other thing I don't like a lot, now I'm a talker, and when I send you a workout, when you work at Diamond Strength Fitness, all the videos, the how-to videos are mine. I create my own videos because I do talk a lot, and I want you to remember when to take your inhale, to roll your shoulders back, to aha your abs. So you always like you're laughing and watch them fill here, and then just make them tight. You're not pulling your belly button into your spine. We don't do that. That's an 80s thing, and that's actually saved for some other things, but not when it comes to tightening your spine, your abs, so that your muscles in your back move around your spine and protect your spine when you're doing deadlifts and squats and such. So here's what I wanted to talk about. When they call those flat belly things, they'll get you some great abs. You can have, I was down to a 4-pack. Not everybody has a 6-pack. Some people have an 8, but if you count them all the way up here and all the way down, like to your underwear line, provided you're not wearing granny panties, you can have an 8-pack, you can have a 6-pack. Sometimes you have to lose an extreme amount of weight to see every single one of those. But I got down to a point where you could see a 4-pack because I was bodybuilding, and we're going to get back to that because I looked pretty shredded back then, and I do miss that. But that's my goal. So in order to do that, I can honestly tell you, it's not just the exercise. I still have a 4-pack in there, but guess what? It's covered up by what I just showed you in the mirror. It's covered up by all the comfort food that I ate because I went through a bout of depression when I hit menopause. I started crying when my husband would go to work. So I'm not a crier, so that was like my first telltale. What the hell's going on? So that was it. So we're getting back on to the workout front. So 3 days a week, I do work from home. So we're going to hit the assault bike 3 days a week. In class, this is Fiona. In class, we're going to end each strength day, which there's 2 strength days, Monday and Wednesday. We're going to end them with 10 minutes of cardio. And then there's 2 cardio days. Actually, there's 1 cardio day, and then I save a day for stuff to try. I text myself workouts or exercises that I find online that look really cool to see what it looks like in real life to people who haven't done it before, and see if it'll benefit my ladies, because my ladies are actually around my age and older. I do have a few younger that are in their 20s, 1 or 2 in their 30s, but most of us are in our 40s to almost 70 even. So you can do all those workouts, and we will do all those workouts. But what I have a problem doing is getting women to watch what they put in their mouth. So everybody wants their comfort food. I want my comfort food too. But I also want to look better, and I have to get this fat off my liver. So we're going to work on that. and you may want to look better in your clothes. You may, I don't know, maybe you have some issues, diabetes. I have one lady that comes in, she just wanted to lower her score, and she has. She chooses not to be on an interview for the channel. And I respect that. So I did an interview, and as you saw, there was only like a couple of people that interviewed. And that's because not everybody wants to be on the information superhighway. So we're not going to do that. Anyways, you have to watch what you're putting in your mouth. So first, when I help you with food, okay, so then you're looking for food and recipes, and I have collected a book of recipes that either I have gotten on a meal plan from somewhere else, and it's not a meal plan, but it's a recipe, and you can incorporate them how you want, and I'll help you figure that out too, because it also gives you like the macro breakdown, your carbs, fat, and protein in it. And some of these are from things that I've even used, and I plan on having everybody add theirs when they have good ones. I should probably take them off my stuff to try and print them as soon as I get ink for my printer and put them in a book. So it's all fine and dandy when you find the exercise you want to do and you find food that you want to use, but how do you put it all together? I can help you with that. I can help you learn how to do that. So regardless of how long you're with me in studio, or maybe we're doing it online or whichever, I'd like to help you so that as you go on, you have the information, you have a template you could use. So what I like to do is, everybody has heard of MyFitnessPal, and I know there are other options out there. One of my clients had told me about an app called Nourish, which I haven't been able to totally look at yet, but I plan on doing that today, where you can take a picture of your food and it'll give you the breakdown, this, that, and the other. But first we need to figure out what your macros are. So what we would do is we would have you log your food for 3 weeks. The first thing that I'm looking for is that you're eating enough food. You do not want to eat anywhere under 1,250 calories, because then your body's thinking there's a famine going on, and you're going to start packing on weight. It used to be where we could do that when we were younger. Like you could skip a meal here or there, or you can eat salads for whatever long. But you know what? Did you ever really have muscle back then? When you looked at it, of course, muscle was not a thing for women then either, but somewhere you needed to have some kind of muscle. So that way, like, you didn't break a hip when you fell, or a leg or an ankle or an arm or what have you. You need muscle to protect yourself. Whether it's core muscle, leg muscle, you need all kinds of muscles to stop that. And the only thing that's going to stop you from tripping, honestly, 2 things. If you practice lunges, then your body will get used to, as you're starting to trip, you can pull yourself back because you've also got core muscle in there. And core is not just your abs. Core is everything except for your head, your arms, and your legs. It's your chest, it's your abs, it's your butt, and it's your back. So the whole thing needs to be strong. You can do back exercises all day long, but you also need a strong chest. You can do ab exercises all day long, but you need a strong back. And it goes further into a chain, and I'll just give you one more. So if you're getting lower back pain, that can be a lot of things, because I get a little twinge at the top of my butt, and it's the glute medius. And I know that I haven't worked that muscle the correct way, and I do have rehab exercises for it. So if you ever have gotten rehab exercises from your doctor, rehab, whichever, do them regularly, do them somewhat regularly, because honestly, we can't complain that things hurt if we're still not using the tools we were given. So we're going to go back to that too. And sometimes I need to do it more so than just on days that we're working out. So another part of menopause is sometimes you forget where you left off. So anyway, you don't eat under 1,200 calories, and we're going to figure out what your protein, your carbs, and your fat are. And you can see what those are on regular MyFitnessPal without buying the paid version of it. and I can show you how to do that. And if you're using an app that I don't know anything about, tell me what the app is. I'm happy to learn whatever app it is and whatever makes it easier for you to log your food. So I just want to see how you eat, and then we start making little tweaks here and there. Like I make little tweaks to mine, and then I jumped right off of the bandwagon. So I lost like 6 pounds. And then I figured it would keep happening. Okay, I've got my template and I'll keep it right here. Well, I did keep it right there, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then I fell off. I have been able to maintain the 153 that I am, but now it's time to take more off because we got to baby the liver a little bit in there. So we're going to do that. Exercises. You'll see a lot of exercises on TikTok, YouTube, right exactly where you are now. Maybe Facebook, because now they have those AI generated things that'll show you how to do the workouts and whatnot. But what they don't tell you is where to inhale, where to exhale, and how to set up. So you always want your perfect posture. You always want to roll your shoulders back, your abs, and make them tight. And one other thing is you want to make sure that your butt's not out this way, because then it'll create back pain right in here. If you squeeze your butt cheeks, you always want your rib cage and your hips to be in the same line right here. So this is your perfect posture right here. And this is how you want to be in every exercise. And you start your exercise with an inhale, like if you're doing squats, you inhale first, inhale on the way down, exhale, push. So none of them teach you, not all of them teach you where to breathe and how to set up before you do it, but at Diamond Strength Fitness, I do. I spout it off during class all the time. Come on, get out. And it's in all my videos. So on my videos that are on the app, I haven't put out any videos to the public yet, but stay tuned, because I do plan on making some on-demand videos so that you can do cardio at home with me, you can lift with me, you can take me to the gym, we can do stuff and things of that nature. So we're going to start boning up on stuff. If you have questions, now is where you do the questions. Do a like, do a subscribe so that you can catch my videos. I haven't been very regular on said videos. So, I'm sorry, my cat's being a pain in the neck right now. I haven't been very regular on the videos because I was still learning how to post videos. So I do have some coming out, and they're going to be coming out once a week, hopefully around Monday. In light of Halloween, here we are. Let's have some fun. Let's get some shit together. Ask me your questions. Hold on, my cat's trying to kill herself. Okay. Ow! She's trying to hang off the curtain. Now she's all freaked out stuff. Here, get. All right. Anyway, say hi to Fifi. Ask me all of your questions. I will find the answers to them, and if I don't have the answer right away, I will find the answer, and it'll give me opportunities to make other videos that you want to see, things that you want to know. We can work around a holiday meal. We can work around eating out. There's all different kinds of ways to do stuff, but you have to also be willing to give stuff up for a little while. I know some people in the summertime, they like to sit by the pool and have a beer or a drink or whatever it is you like to have. We can't totally schedule that in, but listen, we're at the perfect time of the year. We just hit, it's fall right now. I don't know when you're watching this video, but it's the middle of October. It's October 12th, 2025. So we're hitting October, we're hitting sweatshirt weather, sweatpants weather, long pants weather. Everybody's putting their guns away. Of course, some people's guns have like stacks on them, but there's still a gun under there. Woohoo! Anyway, so let's make the most of it. I have had a lot of plans on a lot of winters and falls to recreate myself, and then bam, look good in my shorts and my tank top, and I have yet to do that because, well, I mean, was going through menopause, and that for me lasted about maybe 2 years, I think. It was probably more because I don't actually know when I started, but when I started to go a little haywire and crazy and gained all kinds of weight, I know it's probably been about 2-3 years already. Everything mellowed out. If you have menopause questions, let's go over those, because I can honestly tell you my hips hurt, my deadlifts were totally off, and a chiropractor. If you feel that things are off, maybe a visit to your chiropractor would be good. If you're anywhere in the Parma Heights area, close to, they call it the Shops of Parma, but I've been here most of my life, and it'll always be Parma Town. There's the Joint Chiropractic out there. I love the guy. He always hits, there's two little muscles that attach your rib cage to your hips, and it's called the quadratus laborum. He is always able to crack both of them. There's very few people who can crack both of those for me. Then my deadlifts are point on. As you get to an age, and I'm not going to say old because I don't feel old. I mean, sometimes when I get off the couch and you've been sitting there too long, I do need to stick a knuckle in my back and I feel old. But that's just a used body, and I'd rather go out used than go out brand new. So women a lot of times will start getting a little bit of scoliosis. I have a very small degree. It doesn't affect any workouts that I do. I do have to do some things differently because I have, again, if you're starting to feel pain, it could also be arthritis. I had tingling in my hands and my feet at one point, and it's when my hormones were still like raging, and I told my doctor about it, and we did a scan and found out that I have arthritis in my hands, hips, and feet. So sometimes it depends on either I didn't warm up correctly, or maybe I did find like holding my abs in wasn't as easy as it used to be. And it's not like I stopped working out for any length of time, but I just wasn't working out as hard. And you just got to readjust things. So don't let it dishearten you about coming into the gym and working out anywhere, no matter where you're at, whether it's me or anywhere. You can even take me on your phone to the gym and we can go through stuff. I do plan on visiting a gym so I can show you some of the workouts there too, in case you're someplace else. Because my gym doesn't have everything that they have, but I have all the necessary tools to work every single part of your body. So what else was I going to say with that? So talk to your doctor about anything that feels weird here and there. The way I found out about fatty liver was because when I was bodybuilding, I used to be hungry like an infant. So I ate 4 times a day. 2 of those were snacks. 3, 4, I ate like 5 times a day, 5, 6 times a day. Because there was breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack in between both of those. And I always used to feel like infant hungry. I always knew when it was time to eat because I felt like I could eat a smorgasbord and wipe it all out. And I would get this weird pain like right under my rib. And that on the right side is where your liver is. And I actually went in there because of another issue that I thought like maybe I had a hernia that was happening or whatever. But it was an inflamed liver. So when you eat processed food, fatty food, when you eat too much of it, my liver lets me know that I ate too much of it. Because it's not a sharp pain, it's not a stabbing pain, it's kind of like a dull pain. And it kind of burns. It feels more like a burning pain, I will say that. Menopause has brought on a lot of things. As we get older, you can't just chalk it up to old age. You just chalk it up to, hey, I used it, and that's it. It's breaking down a little bit, so let's start taking care of our body. Come in, talk to me, we can do that. There's 2 different ways to work out. We don't work out like we did when we were younger anymore, so I have 2 different boards to work out on. You can lift heavy shit when you're younger too, but you can also do exercises differently than we do now. So our basic lifts, the things you do every day. Deadlift, picking stuff up off the floor. Squat, because you're always sitting somewhere, whether it's the couch, a chair, or in the bathroom. overhead press because you're always putting stuff in a cabinet. I'm going to start doing reverse plank and plank because that's all part of your core. A plank hits almost every single muscle in your body, from your arms all the way down to your legs. I also help if there's things you can't bend, like I don't have any cartilage between the joints in my big toes. So lunges, I basically do stationary, or I put one foot up because it's hard for me to bend my foot because I can feel the bones rubbing in there. There's always a way to do something some other way. And we can figure it out together. So don't think you can't exercise because this hurts, or you can't exercise because you can't do this. You can. You start at your pace. Even though it's a group class, it's not a fast-paced group class. The group class is really small, and I can pay attention to everybody. So bring it in. Work out at your pace. If you need to stop and take a break, you stop and take a break. Take a couple of deep breaths, and you jump right back in. I will get you where you need to be. I'm going to get me where I need to be, and I'm going to take you on that journey with me. So you're going on the journey with me. We are going to lose menopausal fluff, and we're going to deal with our arthritis, our knee pains, because a lot of people have knee pain. So I've been helping a lot of people out with that. We just build the muscles around the knees, but you don't necessarily have to squat because there's a leg press machine. There's a lot of other things we can do with that. Food. We're going to help you out with food too. So you can find your recipes, take screenshots of them, print them if you want. And I say, when you start having a good day, when you use the app, whichever app you're using, save that meal, because you can use it as your template, and you can create your own meal plan by foods you already eat. I don't get exorbitant meal plans, recipes, because I don't have a lot of time to cook. So I like things that have a few ingredients, nothing that you can't find in a kitchen, and nothing that you can't buy at either Walmart, Aldi, or Giant Eagle. So if you get food ideas from me, it's not going to be anything extravagant, and we can change it however you want to change it. I would rather change one thing at a time. Like, I'm starting to figure out how to eat other things besides just oatmeal. And I can also say this too, you never want to count out one single food group. So if you want to go gluten-free or dairy-free, talk to your doctor, because not everybody has a gluten intolerance or a dairy intolerance, but I can honestly tell you that it did affect me. So when I was bodybuilding and I got to a point and I thought it was loose skin, it was actually still a little bit of fat that was in there. So my coach took me through a 2-week cut. And what that means is you cut it down to bare bone stuff. I didn't get any dairy, and I didn't get any white carbs, which, like, rice cakes were golden at one point in time, because that was the only crunchy thing you really got to eat, unless it was a carrot or a piece of celery. And not a celery fan, and I like carrots, but I'm not going to eat them on a regular basis. So we cut out the dairy, we cut out the white carbs, and my 4-pack emerged. So talk to your doctor before you cut out anything. And if you do want to cut it out, you cut it out for a week or two, and then you put it back in moderation. Obviously, everything's in moderation. And then you can tell if you have the intolerance. So that's how I know. When I had my hysterectomy, I had trouble digesting gluten, like pasta. I'm a big pasta fan. And pierogies. I make homemade pierogies, and I have made homemade pasta, although I haven't made it in a while, but we're going to get back to that. It would sit like a ball in my stomach. Even bread would sit there. So I got brown rice quinoa pasta. That does me well, so I can still have pasta when I want to, although you still have to work that in moderation also, because it still is a kind of flour, and it still is a carb, although it's a good carb. A carb is a carb, and when you're trying to lose weight, you throw things in sparingly. So, and as far as the dairy went, I was already drinking soy milk and whatnot, but we stayed with the soy milk, but then I didn't have any cheeses, or cottage cheese. I don't even remember if I was eating cottage cheese at that point, but cheese was my favorite thing, and chocolate. So I do eat dark chocolate. It's at least 70% cacao. It's not cocoa. It's CAOCA, cacao. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here. Cacao, not cocoa. It took me a while to get to the 70%. So try it. You start going little by, and chocolate is very expensive. So I can actually get the chocolate chips. So that way I can get like a 1 ounce chocolate, and you eat them a couple of pieces at a time and you feel like you had a lot of chocolate sometimes. Cut those things out and you can drop some weight pretty quick. Let me know what you think. Let's go over stuff. Ask me questions. Give me topics that you want to see on videos. I am going to start making videos. Tell me what exercises it is that you actually want to see. I have one client who still likes doing the step deck kind of stuff. So although I can't really do step deck stuff because I could do it on the floor, and I do. And I can do some stuff on the step deck, but it aggravates my arthritis in my back, so I don't do a lot of it. So we went to watching a video on it, and we can incorporate weights on it, and if we happen to choose one that's all cardio without the weights, then I just do most of the stuff on the floor because it aggravates parts of my body when I don't do it that way. So there's always different ways to do stuff. Let me know what those exercises are. We can make videos on those so you can get what you want out of your workout. If you like the 80s type of videos, which I still have people that do like those, we can like bump it up and make a 2025 version of that. I'm all for it. Working out, I can make home workouts, obviously, because not everybody wants to go to the gym or has time to go to the gym. You want to get up first thing in the morning, bam, let's do this, that, and the other. Let me show you how to do it. And you can get it offline pretty much anywhere, but I'd like to show you how to do it where we get the posture out right and you breathe in the correct spots, because that's also important too. Breathing in the right spot and having everything in the right spot so that something doesn't hurt later, this, that, the other. I will get back to you. I hope I've answered some questions for you. You can take this journey with me. If you are right there with me, right where I'm at, let's do it. I could use the help, more or less the companionship of the workout kind of thing. I like helping other people get into stuff. Let me know what your troubles are. We'll talk about your troubles on another show. I'll talk to you soon. If you're in the Parma Heights, Strongsville surrounding area, stop by and see me. I'm at 6690 Pearl Road in Parma Heights, right next to Taco Bell, 1 block away from West 130th. So I'm a block away from Middleburg Heights. I'll talk to you soon. My name is Michelle. I'm at 216-870-4383. You have yourself a wonderful day or a wonderful evening or night, depending on what time you're watching this. I love you all. Welcome to the Diamond Crew.